Hey, Tad.
Yes, Nyaruuu-chan.
Let me tell you about
I
the
saw
weird.
like the anime. I saw the anime face go like up to the side in displeasure. It threw me off. We'll try it again.
Okay. Hey, Tad.
Yes, Nyaruuu-chan.
Let me tell you about the weird, wacky, and insane world of idols.
Oh boy. All right, so before we get into idols, let's talk about a failed idol. I think is that your gimmick? Are you a
Yes.
failure? Is that your VTuber
Yeah, I'm
gimmick?
a whole failure and a half. I literally got kicked out because apparently I was not good enough. So, here I am, trying to have my revenge arc. But let me introduce myself formally. I do have a catchphrase, if you don't mind me saying that. Just like an actual cool idol. Wow. Everyone knows what to do. Said no. Tiger, fiber, cyber, diver, fiber, biber. Nyaruuu. Hello everyone. My name is Nyaruuu. I'm a failed idol turned VTuber from SHILL Productions, and it's like sweet chew. And today I am here with the one, the only Tad. Woo! Yeah.
I love that dude. I think he's awesome. I'll have you know, when you were going through that, like, do you remember the last time you were ever on like a roller coaster
Yeah.
and like it starts and you're not ready for it? You just go, whoa! You're just sitting there flying back in your seat. That flew at me like a freight train.
I feel like most normies, when they talk, whenever they hear me do that catchphrase, they kind of feel the same way. They're like, "What is the sensation of?" I feel very uncomfortable, but I'm also excited.
So, you stream on Twitch. You are a virtual tuber.
Yes, I
what
am
do you
one of
do?
them
Do you do
virtual
variety?
tubers. Yeah, I do variety most of the time. I can do your flavor of the month video games all the way down to some drawing, singing, dancing, whatever the fuck you want me to do.
How does the tracking work for that one? Is it
So
good, or is it? I imagine it's like trying to play one of the old fucking Connect games.
So like I have Vive trackers, but I only use them on like the very fancy occasions. But I do have like a software, just like the software I'm using now. I use V2 Studio to track my live 2D model, which is what you see on the screen right now. But for my 3D model, which I don't use that often, I use another little program that just tracks my whole body with my iPad. It's very janky, but it gets the job done, and that's what it's all about when it comes to VTubing. It's all scruff and jank, but we get the job done.
Yes, and we'll wrap back around to VTubing later, but topic idol culture. So what I know about idols, in the West, we have idols that are like in sync, and as I was typing up my notes for this one, 2 hours before recording, I was trying to remember another like more recent one. And I don't, it's like Notorious One or Number One D. I swear, I don't know what it is, but that's like a thing. I swear there's like 9-year-old girls that are going nuts over it. Do you know what this is driving me nuts and I refuse to Google it.
Is it like the BTS? Like the
No, I know those BTS boys.
the BTS
right.
boys?
Maybe I should break K-fob. I'm going to search Number One D. Boy, oh fuck, this is gonna get some results. One Direction, Jesus Christ!
Oh,
wow, okay.
Wait, I sang their song the other night.
Yikes! I may be a Discord admin, but I'm not up to date on my fanciful young boys. So, I think you know what? Honestly, I don't even know. Is One Direction a boy band? I don't know.
They are actually no longer a group. They all split up apparently, but they're having a reunion. I think.
Did they all go One Direction?
No, they went multiple directions, sadly, and one of them went up in a very bad situation. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. You can Google that on your own.
It sounds like that's a common thread if I'm seeing between the lines here. So from what I understand, the idol career path is you're really young and susceptible. I imagine there's like scouts sitting outside of like children's dance studios.
Oh yeah.
And they go up to the parents like, "Hey, do you want to sell your daughter?"
You make it sound like it's human trafficking.
Am I off though?
I mean,
they scout these kids. They get them famous. They teach them. They get their music to a wider audience. Producers get to make money off of like the big ravenous fans through sponsorships and merch sales.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually they either retire or they get caught up in an awful scandal and they burn out. Is that the idol trajectory? I got that right.
Sounds like the Disney trajectory, but I mean, you're still on point. I think that's just this kind of like track for any sort of like childhood star in any country. I'll be real with you, because I've noticed like this sounds exactly like Disney for me. But when you think about it, when you start like taking apart the nitty gritty and everything, you kind of think like, oh shit, that's also with idol culture, K-pop culture, and like all these other type of music industry cultures around the world.
Yeah, it feels like the career trajectory is like, you ever see that old video where it's the Disney stars drawing the Disney mouse, but it's all fucked up and it's all zigzaggy? Yeah. That's their career trajectory.
That's their career. Mm-hmm.
So idols, is it always pop music? Are there country star idols? Are there lo-fi hip-hop beats to chill/study to idols?
So funny thing about this is that there's a saying that goes around, at least with like Japanese idols. I'm not really into like the K-pop or like the C-pop or the Thailand pop or anything like that. I'm mostly into Japanese idols. So yeah, there is a Thailand pop culture or pop music culture, which I can happily get into it here in a little bit, because one of my favorite groups, AKB48, they have their own like sort of mini like country specific group in Thailand. They're called BNK48. But yes, just going back to what you were saying though, well, there's a big saying that goes around with like Japanese idol culture that like there is an idol for everything and everyone. So you want country star idols? Man, that probably exists. Do you want the idol that plays the lo-fi hip hop beats to study and chill to? I am 100% sure that exists actually. And can I think of a group that's actually like that? One of my favorite groups.
I'm imagining like the country star idols are up there and they got like the fucking bowl in the middle and they got like 6 people that are all square dancing. But they're doing it like oh fuck, what's that thing called? I used to listen to it ironically. Oh fuck, there was like a whole genre of country music that was like sped up and pitch shifted upwards. Oh god, what was it called?
This sounds like nightcore country music.
Yeah, nightcore country music, yeah.
But yeah,
that's all I had for that.
Yeah, like no kidding though. Like there is like a sort of like countryside, most of like the countryside idols, like they don't necessarily like perform to country style, western style music, but they do take a lot of, so like when you think of like country idols, you think of like the local tier, like, you know, like maybe, you know, like those singers that are like out on the street with their guitar and they're playing for the money and everything. Yeah, the buskin type. There is definitely like a buskin type of idol. Buskin type. And then the lo-fi sort of hip hop piece of study and children, there is a whole genre like that. And like where they're more like electric sounding and like very chill and just like just a whole ass bob. One of my favorite groups actually. That reminds me of lo-fi hip-hop piece of study and chill to. They are no longer active though. They're called Cyber. They definitely just give off that sort of vibe, and I love them so much. They're so edgy too. I love them. But yeah,
I would love to see a group up there and they're just sitting at the desk and all the fans are waiting as they listen, because you can't hear the music because they're listening to it in their headphones, and the second they flip the page in the book, they go ape shit.
See, I feel like this is an actual event that would actually happen, because like that's another cool thing about like with idols, they come up with like so many weird ass events, not just like, you know, the famous like, oh, you handshake your idol. No, there's some where they just like kind of, so like they'll give you like a ticket and they'll be like, okay, you just go to this section, and then like they'll tell you, okay, so you can kiss this idol or you can hold hands with this idol.
Holy
but then she ends
shit.
up, no, you might be thinking this is weird, but hold on, wait for the punchline. She'll be like wearing a hazmat suit.
All right, that's pretty based.
Yeah, she'll be wearing like a whole ass hazmat suit. Oh, there's some where they just like kind of lay on the floor and then they'll get up in a line, lay on the floor, and literally just the idol will just step on their backs and they'll just be like, yes, I love this. It gets pretty wacky. I love it.
I kind of like, I can respect We'll say that. We won't say like. I'll say I could respect that they'd be like, all right, we know what these people are into, so let's just we're giving them what they're paying for.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about them big bucks. I mean, if you can make a living, because like with idols, it's kind of hard to make like a sort of a living out of this, just because like, especially when you're signed with like an agency, and then you have to like everyone has to like take cuts from like different directions. With any sort of entertainment industry, it's very hard to make like money, period. But you know, if they see the big bucks, they're gonna go that way.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the actual structure of so someone gets scouted. From what I understand with it, they go to like a dance training thing for fucking 10 years, and this is mostly K-pop is what I know. And so they get scouted early, they get stuck in like a prison home for like 10 hours a day. They have to give up like all of their I saw BTS took a break, so because they're like, we're 20 years old and we're millionaires, can we please fuck off to like live? So you just give up 12 years of your life to dance on stage.
Yeah.
Is that typical?
I personally do not agree with that. That was mostly like on the K-pop side. So like what you said there, that is 100% true for K-pop idols. From what I understand, yes, they mostly do get scouted when they're younger. Some people even pay for them to like be in front of certain people. It's kind of like, you know, with like the beauty pageants where it's like you be in front of certain people, and then like once that right person sees you, then they put you into like a bigger sort of league, etc., etc. Same exact thing. But yeah, that's more like the K-pop side. So you already like 100% explained that for me. 100% true, correct with that. For J-pop,
K-pop is the go-go juice.
Yeah,
brand.
that
if you know what that is. If you don't, Google go-go juice, because unironically it tastes really good. I've tried it before.
Wait, does it? I always
it's just like
from the
Red
list of it,
Bull
always
and juice.
tastes nasty.
I don't know. Listen, she was the same one who made Sketty, and I tried that one. So maybe I'm not like a good. Maybe I'm not a good taster.
Maybe you just don't have the mature taste bud. Yeah, you're not. You have the taste buds of maybe a child.
Immature.
I mean,
I've got Joe Buck taste buds.
He just eats chicken tenders all day.
Yep. You know, Joe Buckley doesn't like noodles. Can you believe that? But
what?
he'll eat fucking like chicken tenders.
Okay, no? Joe, I'm cooking you. I'm gonna cook him some spaghetti, and he's gonna like it.
Okay, we'll see. I'll let him know. Yeah, I'll channel Joe for a second. Okay. Give him that. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like being possessed by a demon. Ugh. All right, go ahead. Enough Joe Buck.
Yeah, enough Joe Buck. He's not taking over this one. Not just yet. But going back to that, you nailed on the head with K-pop. That is exactly how it works over there. It is not ethical at all. I really do not agree with it. On the J-pop side, though, from what I understand from, like, I guess, like, my own experiences as well as my friends' experiences, because I've never actually kind of like been over to like Japan side, but I've done a lot of like talking with friends and like doing a lot of studies on my own about like how the process works. So most of the time people will kind of like just start as like a sort of like an indie idol where they do like, you know, the underground live house performances and like or they do the hashtag buskin out on the streets. There's also, you know, just the same thing as K-pop, there are scouters that do go around like, you know, the popular trendy areas like Shinjuku, Harajuku, Shibuya, Akihabara, where they will just go look at like other talent as well, like whoever's around, they'll be like, hey, you want to be an idol? And then you just sign up with the agency and
so now when they're getting their names out there, is it always like a solo act, or will it be like sometimes like 3 friends or something? Isn't that what they did in that anime with the raccoon lady, the one that's angry?
Oh, I get it, Zuko. So it depends. So like every situation, I think it's like kind of different because there are like a lot of solo idols, but like the big thing when it comes to like idol culture is being in a group. I do know of one group that I was close friends with, like one of them. They started out as like a trio, then they got scouted for a big agency actually, but they one of them kind of didn't like the direction that the agency was going, so they decided to like leave and pursue like solo activities on their own. The other 2 went on to do stuff, and they even got like a new member, but it just wasn't right, and it is very, very varying, because like at least like in when it comes to like being an idol in Japan, you have like a little bit more freedom to like kind of do whatever you want versus like the K-pop side, where you can just be like, oh well, I don't like how this is kind of working out, I'm just gonna like go with my contract and then like kind of leave. Yeah, like the contracts over there are actually not that restricting. I know everyone loves to bring up the what about the boyfriend, no boyfriends allowed, the dating ban. So stuff like that, of course, like does it kind of exist in like contracts, but at the same time, it also is kind of like a made up thing that was kind of perpetrated by tabloid media and general fandom society as well. It's very interesting, but I do know of a lot of idols who actually do date like in secret or like behind their back, like behind like the agency's back, and that's like a totally normal thing. As long as like you kind of just keep it on the down low, no one really cares. And even if it is out of the open, again, no one cares. The only people
it's not as strict as it is with these other ones. It's people understand. From what I understand too, it looks like J-pop has its origin back in the 60s is when they first started.
So yeah, just like with, I feel like just groups in general, like the concept of like musical groups kind of like cranked out with boy bands. It's always originating back to boy bands, I swear. But yeah, Johnny's and Associates, that was like a really, really big, they really started like the J-idol sort of movement in Japan, at least.
That's a weird name for a 60s Japanese music producing company. Johnny and that sounds like something from the West.
It sounds like a Yakuza group, I'll be real with you. Then again, there are rumors that they were tied to Yakuza, but I don't know how true that is, and I'm not going to say anything else. But yeah, like just like how nowadays, like you see like the big K-pop like singing competitions and everything like that. That was actually a big thing in the 70s and 80s in Japan. Now that's sort of making a comeback in Japan recently, but it's still like in its very young stages right now. But singing competitions, that was where people would usually like, you know, go and like advertise themselves, like, look at me, I can sing and dance, I will be your idol, etc., etc. And then, of course, advertisement, that was, like, a huge thing as well. Like, if you wanted to be, like, at least, like, out there on the TV, because, like, 70s and 80s was around the time, like, I think television really started to blow up in Japan. So, like, being on an ad was such a huge freaking deal in your idol career. So you wanted to be on advertising. Nowadays, I feel like every single, like, even, like, an indie idol can get on an advertisement. It's so easy nowadays. But, like, back then, it was such a huge deal to be, like, on a big advertisement on the television.
So, some of the things that I saw, there's, now there's, like, billboards everywhere. They, I heard that there's, like, otakus that are mad that so many idols are voicing characters in animes and things like that. So, as an idol, now, is it always music? Is it always singing? Are there, like, idol variants where it's just, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because I'm thinking of idol now as just, like, a one-person spectacle thing, but maybe that's not exactly...
The best way I can really describe it is that, like, most of the idol portion really takes up a lot of personality, because compared to, like, K-pop, where it's like very manufactured, everyone's like trained really, really hard since they were like 5 years old to do like this perfect routine. In J-pop, it's actually very much more lenient. There's a really big focus on individuality and personality, and the biggest draw that really defines between K-pop and J-pop is that when idols first start out, you see them grow from, like, you know, maybe someone who's not so good at singing or dancing, all the way up to someone who is, like, a very good singer and dancer. You basically watch them grow up and to become, you watch them.
You're there for the journey.
Yeah, you're there for the journey. That is the huge draw. That's the one thing I really, really love about idols, is that, like, it just helps me keep motivated personally to just keep doing my best in, like, my own adventures and everything like that. And that's really the main draw of it all. But as you were saying earlier, how, you know, there's, like, different types of idols, and how, like, it can be, like, a modeling idol. Yeah, there's, like, there's like different types of idols. There can be like there's one that just primarily sings. There's some that primarily dance. There's some that just do modeling. There are some that do the javs. Yes, I am saying there are jav idols in existence, and ooh, chef's kiss
What is a
out to them.
jav?
Tell me you don't know what a jav. Oh, come on.
All right, I'm gonna
Come
Google
on.
jav. Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. It's a according to Wikipedia here, Javanese is a Malayo-Polynesian language spoken by the Javanese people. Okay, from the island of Java. All right, no, okay, that makes sense. You know what? I'm a big Jav fan. Jav me up, fam.
Yes, sure. Okay, you know what?
Can't
we'll
get
roll
enough
with
of them
that.
Javs.
We'll roll with that for today. But yeah, there's even like acting idols. There's like even idols for like local governments, local prefectures, etc., etc. There's, like I said earlier, there's an idol for everyone and everything.
So that explains why in Kamen Rider Double, when I was watching that, I thought it was a little weird. There's a lady that was at like the radio station, and they kept calling her like the idol of Futo, I think was the name of the city. And I thought it was a little odd. I thought it was just like a Kamen Rider thing. But now, okay, I could see how that would be more normal as a thing, because Kamen Rider, despite what anyone will tell you, is for 8-year-old Japanese children. It's not very deep. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. It's a children's show.
It's okay. I watch children's anime shows all the time, and you know what? I just have fun with it. That's all that matters to me. I'm just having it gives me my serotonin to just go through the day.
So with these, so the fan culture is like, I get to get in, I get to watch this person grow. That is really, really powerful. When
it is powerful.
Even something like I started watching Mom TV, right? I started watching like Hoarders and TLC,
like TLC,
90
yeah.
Day 90 Day Fiance,
God.
fucking My 600-Pound Life. I put this out in a tweet. I thought it was the funniest thing on the planet when I tweeted it. There was this guy named Federic, and I was like, you know what? I want to watch this man lose 300 or 600 pounds. I'm sorry, not 300. That's baby shit. And he was like, I watched him. I became invested in his journey.
Yeah.
It was me and my girlfriend, and we were just sitting here watching Federic, and I'm like, I need this man to succeed. There's a video where this white lady comes up and shows him how to make lemonade in the most disrespectful fashion. Should look it up afterwards. It's very funny.
Oh, God.
But just watching him, I got to see his journey, and in those 90 minutes, I was invested.
Yeah, like the same thing with me, Mom TV, TLC. I was really invested into oh god, what's that one couple from 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days that was like super, super popular during the height of the Rona?
Was it the fat guy with the no neck?
Yes!
Oh my god, big head.
I was so fucking invested in both of them. I was mostly invested into the girlfriend because I'm like, oh god, I can tell she is not happy. Like, sis, I want to see her happy. I want to see her like make it somewhere else with another. I wanted to see her dump him, and then I don't want to spoil it though, but let's just say I was satisfied. I was very satisfied that she came to her senses, and yeah,
Thank
it's like
God.
That's literally the same exact feeling you feel like with those mom television shows where you get super invested into like one person on like a TV show or something.
Hell
it's the same exact thing, but with idols. And the great thing about them, honestly, is that they're just very accessible compared to like, K-pop, performers. Because I feel like with K-pop, a lot of them are just like, they keep their distance from their fans. But one thing that like I just freaking love, because I've been to Japan before. I've been to so many idol performances, idol lives. I've met idols before. They're so approachable. You're able to go up to them most of the time, depending on, of course, like the idol. You're able to go with them, have like a conversation with them. Develop like, I don't want to say relationship, because like when you say idols and
parasocial relationship,
yeah,
it's like
a parasocial relationship.
It is exactly like streaming. Well, how about
exactly
that?
Like streaming. Wow, it's just like streaming. I just
they should have like idols, but for like streaming. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Wow, that would be so heckin' cool. In fact, like. I think there is already something like that's called like VTubers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, don't steal my idea, okay?
But yeah, because I remember, actually, let me tell you a story. When I went to Japan one time, I went to go see one of my favorite, sort of like indie idols. Her name is Koto. She sadly no longer does performances though, which I am so sad about. But I remember it was like my first time going to like one of her performances, and I was like kind of nervous about it, but the fans were just so welcoming and like very warm to my reception. They were very excited to see, of course, a foreign female be very excited about their very small indie idol. So that was like, oh shit, like she must be making it if like a foreigner is coming all the way over here to her performance. Like it was a big deal essentially. And that was actually a really fun concert. And after that, I went to go. She has like a little merchandise booth that she actually sells like her merchandise herself, along with her manager, so she doesn't like get like taken advantage of or anything. But it's very cool. It was very nice, like talking to. She was like she told me like she practiced like English, because she has like a couple other foreign fans there, but she practices English so that way she can communicate with those who don't speak Japanese. She was like, "Thank you for coming. I'm happy." And I'm like, I cried so much, and I got to like get her merch, just talk to her, take a picture. It's just a very personal experience that it gets me invested, and it makes me feel like that, like I'm, that they see me as like not just like a fan, but just like as a person. I don't know. Maybe I'm falling for the parasocial relationship, but I'm also sane enough to, know that I am falling for it, because I think that's something that definitely should be discussed eventually. So like, I think sometimes parasocial relationships are okay as long as you know it's one. And I'm okay. Yeah. I'm personally okay with that. And besides,
okay with the parasocial. Yeah. That means it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just
keep spending money.
Yeah, just keep spending money. It's fine. But yeah, I just like that aspect that I get to see them grow, and I get to be somewhat personal with them, and they're approachable. Versus like if we were to like see Kim Kardashian on the road somewhere, and she would and everyone would be like, she would just be like, she would just scoff in our direction and be like, plebeians.
Yep. These people the approachability. I never thought about, but yeah, that absolutely has got to be probably primary. I'd say primary reason it takes off. But then again, I'm a dumb white man. I don't know shit about nothing.
Yeah,
what I do know about is those goddamn BTS boys.
Oh, those BTS boys.
So as far as I know, and again, Discord admin, but I'm against the grain. I don't know how big these boys were.
They were huge. Like,
why? Oh, I guess why? I don't. I'm assuming a lot to be like, oh, obviously this female knows everything about BTS, but am I wrong?
Actually, the only thing I know about BTS is one of my aunts is so into them. She actually just went through like a sort of like divorce. No, not menopause. No, she went through a divorce, and then like right around that time, like BTS was kind of like her escape. And oh my god, I ended up like I don't like BTS at all. I'll be real with you. I get attacked for it sometimes, but I knew there was a BTS concert happening where she lives, and I bought her tickets actually to go see them. But then the Rona happened. But she was so happy that like she got I got her BTS tickets. I was gonna go with her. I was gonna risk hearing loss from teenage girls screaming in my ear just to support my aunt because I love her so much. But yeah, BTS, like they're actually like really huge, and like I'll be real with you, I still don't understand why either. Like they remind me of just another. They are just this generation's Beatles if you think about it, just in Korean.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I still trying to comprehend like what makes them so big, because like I've watched their videos, I've listened to them with my aunt.
Why are they successful, and why aren't I?
Why aren't I successful?
Just drinking, just pouring yourself a fucking. I was gonna reference. I bought these McDonald's cups from Goodwill, and I looked online, and apparently they were all recalled because they were like 12% lead. So I just imagine you got a big Grimace cup and you're filling it up with fine cognac, sulking in your leather armchair about those BTS boys. What do they have? When I worked at a pharmacy, one of the pharmacists, she was really big into BTS.
Oh, God.
And when she left, She left to go work at a different pharmacy. I like made her like a goodbye card, and I knew her favorite was cookie, so I just Googled BTS cookie, and I made her like I made her a nice little card. I didn't know that he did like a heart thing, but I lucked out because I like took like construction paper hearts because I was doing it as like a half goof. I felt like a dad taking his daughter to ballet, where I don't know what's going on. I'm surrounded by people who do know what's going on. They're dance moms. I don't like them, but I'm here just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I love being here. I could be at home getting my graceful in old school RuneScape, which, by the way, don't play RuneScape. This is for you and more for me. Don't play RuneScape. Holy shit, it took over my life. I kicked it away, then it came right back. And one of the fans posted on YouTube that I should block Jagex's fucking IP on my router. And I did that. I'm finally free. I literally cannot play it at home. Anyway, yeah. BTS.
So you know what you're
don't
yeah,
do it.
BTS.
Jesus Christ, don't do it.
It's funny because people keep requesting me to play it. So if I get enough, maybe I'll do it. But I don't know if I should after hearing all these warnings.
Well, yeah, BTS. Those BTS boys.
Those BTS boys.
I want to go over something that I found here about C-pop. I guess it's C-pop, right? It's
C-pop.
Chinese
pop.
So apparently, so stans, as mostly in K-pop, they do, they're like stalking, they're doing crazy shit like that. They're harassing people on social media. But in China, it got big enough specifically for a famous Chinese actor whose name I'm going to mispronounce, Zhao Zhan. The Zhao Zhan stands, I want to say. Apparently there was an event that was the 227 event that was so bad it got Archive of Our Own banned in China. So I guess, and this is according to like 2 articles that are from Western sources, so I don't know how true this statement is. But apparently, in China, it's up to fans to defend the image of like an idol. Like they feel encouraged, like I have to personally white knight for this person.
So like a K-pop stan. Got it.
Yeah. So that is a thing for other stans, or is it just like, are there people crusading for baby metal in their defense?
Oh God, so I have a funny thing about baby metal. I've always noticed that, like, it's very old metal dads. Like, I'm talking, like, the dad kind. Like, have you noticed that, too? I'm sorry. I have to ask.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. My girlfriend has said that I'm incredibly dad-coded, and the only J-pop band I know that I actually know is baby metal. It's the only one I've actually listened to, so
okay.
it's on brand.
I'm gonna educate you by the end of the night.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead with your story.
Oh, but yeah, no, it's just like I remember, like, of course I'm still a huge fan of baby metal, but I remember like every time like I would go on like this Facebook group, and there's always like these dads that are just like defending everything that baby metal does. Like, oh my God, they made this person mad. We gotta go onto like all of these Facebook comments and defend our girls. I'm like, honey, it's not that deep. Please stop.
Don't you have your own children to worry about?
Seriously, they're like 40. Like, no offense to baby metal fans, because I think I've met some really wonderful people in that fandom. But at the same time, please take care of your kids, even if you have kids in the first place, because you're spending so much time on the fucking internet defending these 3 children. Well, now they're adults, but
my scream children are more important.
My scream children are more important than my actual children.
So what happened in this event was a bunch of these Zan stans started flooding Archive of Our Own with takedown requests because there was an erotic fan fiction in which Zan was a bottom. Now, I'm going to say, so you speak Spanish, right? Again, I'm just assuming
a little bit.
Okay, so you can obviously read Portuguese, the language this was written in.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's just, oh, no.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best because like I've always gotten Spanish and Portuguese very mixed up. So let's see if I can actually do this. Oh god.
Holy shit. I put it into Google Translate.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a sentence. Oh my god.
You can read the translation after this. Oh my god, I'm gonna do poorly though. Okay, let's go. Then, você era bonito demás para ser completamente recto, mas os oh my god, this is so long. Divinamente estos sentinos umas vives debi. Oh god, I'm scared about this.
Which obviously means, well, you're too handsome to be completely straight, but I'm definitely getting some bi vibes. Is the opening sentence. This fan fiction, listen, this is not the first time I've ended up reading gay pornography while doing an episode, and this is like number 2. The Chinese fans did not like this. He is a strict top in their mind. Us fan fiction readers, or lemon enjoyers, as we refer to ourselves in our community, are not the most mentally stable.
As someone who used to write fan fiction, I can attest to that.
So yeah, they basically just kept reporting it to the Chinese government as like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and it just boom, they blocked it out. No one in China is allowed to jerk it to bad Homestuck fan fiction anymore.
Oh my god. I see, like, this happens also in K-pop, as mostly in K-pop actually. I've never seen this really happen in like, I guess like the J-pop side. I remember like I was on Twitter once and like someone just kept like linking like all of their BTS fanfics between like all the boys, and I read one of them and I'm like, oh god, is this what I used to be like when I was writing yaoi fanfiction when I was 13? Oh god.
It's all about the hands. They got big hands.
Yeah, the big yaoi hands. Oh, and the yaoi shoulders, and then they have to have the very tiny head.
Hell yeah, the fridge.
The fridge look.
That's my goals.
Get his look, and it's just like a fucking fridge right there.
Hell yeah. There was an artist that got bullied way back when with Homestuck stuff because he kept drawing John like a fridge. He got a lot of harassment. I thought it was funny at the time. I still think it's funny. Fuck it. Homestuck's stinky.
Man, you can never go an episode without talking about Homestuck. It always
goddamn right, it haunts me. It haunts me.
It haunts everyone. Every time I think about Homestuck, I always think about the hotel story where someone is eating
the markers?
Yes, the markers. That is like my go-to Homestuck story whenever I tell someone new, they don't know about Homestuck. I'm like, oh, I'm going to tell you a story. Did you know about the Sharpie lady? Yeah!
Have you heard about the Vriska cosplayer pushing a Tavros dude into the pool because she thought his wheelchair was part of the costume?
Yeah. And then the pool just became all fucking great.
Hell yeah, dude. Homestuck is great. What a joy it's brought everyone.
What a joy. It has been a blessing upon this earth, and I don't know where we would be in this timeline without it.
Probably on fucking Mars already.
No.
So these fans, these Zan stans, they shut down Archive of Our Own, and then there was a big retaliation campaign to boycott all the products associated with Zan because he was unworthy of his position for not being able to guide his fans properly. So all the companies associated with him, which is like, do you remember when the Minions movie was coming out and you had Minions bananas, Minions Twinkies, Minions everything? It was like that. They had to drop all of that.
Oh my god. That's like, oh my god. Can you imagine the scale it would be if like Minions had like a scandal and like
one of the Minions came out as a sex pest. Louis C.K. is actually a Minion. Just go look at him. He's got the overalls.
I mean, oh my god, can you imagine what Minion comes out as sex pest and everyone just starts burning all of their Minion stuff in the fucking street as if like they're rebelling against
what was the Minion's name? I think I was gonna say Bob and Larry. Those are the Jesus vegetables. They crucify him like the guy in Smiling Friends.
Oh my god.
So another incident, and this is something that I heard also happens in J-pop and all these other ones, is that there was something that was like a milk vote where there was a product you could buy, and if you bought it, you got one vote for whichever idol to win some dumb contest.
Okay,
So these people were buying, they had a catchphrase, which was, if you could buy one, bite the bullet for 3. So people were buying 3 gallons of milk and then just dumping them down the drain to show how much they cared for their idol, and people were not happy about that.
So I'm going to tell you about the J-pop side of this. So I'm going to tell you some background about it, and then I'll get into it. So this sort of concept originally came from idol group AKB48. They have this thing called Senbatsu so Senkyo, also known as the general elections, where people will buy a CD, and the CD will come with a ticket, and then you go online, and then they vote for their favorite idol to be the center, or like the main vocal for the next major single. And that was like such a huge, that was like basically the Super Bowl for Japan at one point. I'm not kidding. Because how big was this? They would basically do the same exact thing with the milk cartons that you talk about, where they buy like at least like hundreds upon hundreds of CDs for just a ticket. They would like, of course, use all the voting ticket, but then they will dump them. Like every year, there's always pictures of like big piles of AKB48 CDs that of the CD that comes with a code, but they're like all on the street in trash bags. It will end up in like the secondhand CD stores, and then these CD stores don't know what the fuck to do with them, so they end up like either giving them away, or they put them for like literally like maybe like 5-10 yen. I've seen some.
So they become like, if you go to like a game store, there's always like 400 copies of Madden 2007.
Yes, exactly. It is exactly like that. It is beautiful, but sadly they don't do that competition no more, because I think they kept getting criticism for that, and also there was like some other factors. But man, that was some good ass memories. I remember actually buying like multiple CDs just to vote for my favorite. Yes, I contributed to the problem. I am problematic, and I do not care. I am very chat about it. I will up front and say I do not care. But yeah, I would vote for like my favorite idol, and then I would stay up until like, since it took place like of course a daytime over there, it'd be like 2, 3, 4 in the fucking morning for me, right before school. I was like, come on,
so they're counting up all the votes like the presidential election.
It's literally, I'm not kidding. It's like the Super Bowl meets the presidential election in Japan.
Here's how Miyoko could still win. You got articles all across the internet.
I'm not kidding. There was one year, my favorite idol, she got second place, and this other girl that I was like not fond of, but I was like, oh, still okay with, she got first place. And I was like, and literally I had the same exact like moment where I was like, here is how Nyaruuu can still win today. Please listen to me. We can still make this happen.
They had to remake the South Park episode because they thought that she was going to win. They had to scrap the whole thing. Instead, they had Mr. Garrison be like a Trump allegory. It was a mess.
Oh my god! But yeah, that's actually something that originally originated from like Japan. I'm actually I'm not surprised that this has also affected like some other idol-esque cultures in other countries.
Hell yeah!
So
God, you could sell some garbage milk with that too.
Dude,
but yeah, so they dumped all this. You'd have people just dumping milk down the drain. You'd have garbages just full of cans and shit. Not cans, cartons, whatever. So, and this is really recent. This happened August of last year. So like 6 months ago, China launched. It was the Qing Lang campaign or Qing Lan. I'm not sure. I'm not a Chinese scientist. This was an official proclamation that the government doesn't support irrational fan behavior. So if I'm Oreos, I can't just tie myself to Zan like really intricately, because now if Zan does something, if he does something, or the fans go absolutely nutshit over something innocuous, like I was reading people getting stalked, or people were like trying to find where they lived and like taking photos of them if they went out, if they had a boyfriend, and making huge deals out of anything. The government, if you're associated with that guy and he gets caught, flipping off a politician, now you're stepping on the government's toes. So the Zan stands, because they are very, very sound of mind and body, they started having secret clubs on Weibo, which I guess is the Chinese Facebook.
Yeah, it's like Chinese Facebook.
so they would start fundraisers because they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pool all of our money. You'd have these groups pool the money for these events to buy as many as they could at that one time. Like, oh, we'll skip this event, but next event when there's the fucking Senate hearing and we can elect Zan to be president of China by buying enough milk cartons. They would pool it like that, and then they were shutting them down. So now there's underground secret fundraiser groups of stands undermining their authoritarian regime because they stopped them from buying milk.
This is a whole ass roller coaster.
This is what's going to bring it down. So the previous World War, we ended with like a big bomb. This one we're going to end just by lobbying for the correct stand.
Imagine if this was like the Korean government with BTS. God, what's you said Cookie. Cookie was a member of
Cookie,
BTS. Yeah, but next thing you know, you see Cookie as the fucking president of Korea.
He becomes a way worse dictator. The only other fun story I found was I was looking for Western ones, and the Backstreet Boys manager, Lou Pearlman, he was also NSYNC and a bunch of other people. Before he got into boy bands, he made a living selling McDonald's ads on his blimps. And then he died in prison after conning $300 million in a Ponzi scheme where he kept selling people a railroad that didn't exist. Which is kind of based.
This sounds like 90s Fyre Fest.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a thing.
Yeah, I love the Fyre Fest story. I love a good shit show.
Hell yeah. So tell me now about being a VTuber. What it's like to come up with the character, what it was like to... Did you try to go out on your own, or were you immediately like, all right, let's go with an agency so it's more legitimized as an idol thing? How did that go about?
So I was kind of in a slump. Okay, so we're gonna go way back to 2019, my bro. So I was a little bit of a slump in December of 2019, like probably the lowest I've ever been in my whole life. I ended up going on this sounds so pretentious, but on a soul-searching journey to Japan, aka I really wanted to go to an idol concert because I really wanted to get out of the States.
Yeah.
So
I was a freshman in high school at that time, in 2009. That was when Homestuck came out.
Oh, no, I said 2019, man.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think you're older than I am. I'm like, what the hell?
No,
damn.
I'm a child.
Okay.
I am a literal child. I'm literally like 2.
I was gonna say, I'm like, god damn, for 34, you don't sound like it. Holy shit.
No, I'm forever 18, Tad. Come on, get with the program.
Sorry,
get with the lore.
So I don't know your lore other than you're a failure. That's what your lore says. That's
failure.
not me being mean, I swear.
Alright, but yeah, in 2019, I went to Japan. I actually went for you know the anime Love Live, right?
I have heard of it. Can you give me... Now, listen, I don't know much about Japan, as I did scroll down on Jav and did see that actually it was pornography. So I don't know if I know Love Live. Is that where the snow halation came from?
Yes, the snow halation. Yes, so that is from the popular series Love Live. I went to their big ass like concert for like all the Love Live groups, because there's multiple groups now. They all do one big concert like right before Rona, actually, like literally like a couple weeks before Rona. I went to Japan, which is very sketchy. But anyways, I knew what VTubers were, and I knew about them because of like, you know, Keys and I, and of course like the HoloLives, and I saw them like freaking everywhere. Like they were on advertising, they were doing like promotions with like shops in Akihabara, and it was like very crazy. I was like, okay, so like I talked to more like with friends than I did about like this VTuber stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is so fun, I want to do that. So I was like, heck yeah. So on my plane right back, I was like thinking about like my character design, what I would want to do, etc., etc. And then of course Rona hit, and that kind of was like a sign, like, okay, if I'm gonna be stuck at home, I'm gonna fucking do this then. So I ended up doing it. I finished my design. I worked with one of like my close friends to actually create my model. So like all of the models that you see here was done by a close friend of mine. And then I was originally actually going to start VTubing like kind of like as what they say now is an indie person, or is like independent from like a corporate agency or like anything like that. But
just kind of doing it as your own character, like how they have the Dr. Disrespect guy who got banned for filming inside of a bathroom.
Exactly. But then,
try not to do that, but have a fun character.
See, but the fun thing about like VTubing is that like I don't have to like worry about that kind of stuff. I can just like show my model and just be like, you don't have to see my background. You don't have to see me do dumb shit. It's a real life form. So you know what? I'm pretty okay with that. But yeah, going back to how I got into my agency though, I had another friend of mine who I worked close with as an idol before all this. She became part of like the same agency I am now. She was the first member of it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna see if we can maybe like work together and do cool things in this agency. I submitted my application and they're like, oh heck yeah, you know what, get in here, you're very qualified. And I was like, yay. And also I totally didn't bribe my way because the manager really liked AKB48. But aside from that, like, yeah, they helped me out with like, I not really like finalizing my, because like by then I kind of finalized like the look of everything, because like, let me show you for all the viewers at home. This is my original design. I'm gonna like do a little Scooby Bop. That's what I look like. It's like a sort of, for those in the audio realm, it's got like a little hat, it's got a little bow tie, and it's like a blue, white, and gold, little bit Alice in Wonderlandy. Heck yeah.
It's nice. It's got, I count 4 ribbons. It's a lot of ribbons.
Yeah, I love ribbons. Ribbons and stars are my number one thing. I love the sailor aesthetic too. Like I have like a little sailor collar going on. You can't see it, but in my concept, it was there. Yeah, trust me on that, bro. But then, yeah, like by then I finalized everything, and then I was ready to like kind of like what in the VTuber realm they call a debut. And yeah, around like September, I started like streaming as my VTuber, and it was honestly a really fun process to kind of like create something that represents me, but it's not like fully me. But the thing is, like with VTubing, a lot of people actually think like you have to have like this alternate persona character that's completely different. Whenever I stream, or even like right now, I'm literally just talking to you as me, like so like everything is like super unfiltered with me, even like, because like with idols everyone thinks like, oh, they have to be so pure and like, not say bad words or not drink or like not talk about sex. No, I will say pussy, dick, fuck all I want, and you know what, I don't fucking care. It's been super fun though. I love the process of creating like, like an alternate persona of me, because like I tried out streaming before like as my human self, and I was like, man, I hate wearing makeup all the time. I hate having to try to find a new outfit to wear every time. I have self-confidence issues, so let's go with a VTuber. Of course, most people don't do it for like that sort of reasons. Most of them do, but a lot of people also just see it as like an easy way to like, like stream art, see something like pretty on the screen, and you have something even more pretty on the screen. Some people also use it as like a creative outlet to like do more things, because like with VTubing, I always feel like you're able to do so much more versus like if you were like a human. Like for example, it's much more cheaper to just like draw an anime girl wearing different clothes versus like having to buy different clothes like for all like your streams or whatever. Like you have to spend money on like the setup, like a visual setup, and then you have to spend money on like a I don't know, like all this crap that you just see visually. All this extra stuff
to seem to have high production values with a webcam is more of a pain than it is to do the live 2D. My benefit of being a white man is that I could be like fucking Eris, avoid the puddle. He just has a broken camera that points up at his beard, and it's just fine. That's all it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to do anything. It's the benefit of being me.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's like another thing too. It's like with at least like female streamers, with IRL female streamers, it's super easy to get like that sort of like looks come first sort of judgment. And I feel like with VTubing, it's super easy just like kind of avoid that completely, because like who is not,
you get a screen basically. You're able to do your stuff and you don't have to worry about people. I think it also adds like the big ones like The shark one. Oh,
Kura?
I guarantee you there's like yeah, I think that's her name. I don't know their names.
Garakura.
Like you have that character that is not you. So people that are, let's go with undesirable. I'm gonna go with that. People that will like latch onto that parasocial relationship and all that stuff, they can stay over there. Once the stream's over, the shark girl is gone. You can go back to living your life. If it's your normal face, now things mix and match and they blend together, and it gets a little more uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And like I guess I could equally say the same thing because like I've heard people be like, watching an anime girl move on screen is a little uncomfortable. I prefer like it's mostly boomers who say this because I've heard so many boomers say like I don't understand this VTubing culture because it's just like an AI talking to it's like the AI is coming after us and they're gonna take over the world and like no, we're just literally like this is like an outlet for me to be able to be more myself without having to worry about like a face actually being attached to anything. Even though I will say my VTuber model looks exactly like me because I have no creativity. But she's like
it's got like I count like 2 more bow ties. There's probably a bunch more. That's a lot of creativity.
Yeah, very creative. I promise. But yeah, like for example, like I don't have green eyes. Do you really think I'm this skinny, my dude? Do you really think do you even? But yeah, this just it's super fun to have it. I'm able to be so much more creative. TikToks are just so much more fun to make. It's just overall like it's been a very, very creative outlet for me. It's also just helped me become or not become, but more like discover about who I am as a person because I don't have to worry about like looking at my face constantly to the point where I have to think about my looks first and then my personality second. No, I'm able to like, you know, reflect on like who I am as a person and then like kind of like evaluate myself, you know, because like I feel because like looks are just like it's such a huge thing. I keep saying it all the time. Like looks is really
when
huge
you remove that, you only have to if you have that screen. All that matters past that point is like, okay, what am I providing here? What am I doing? What is the skill that I'm showcasing here? What is what goofs, what gas am I pulling off? Now, so when you paired up with the agency, did they provide like I assume they probably do like some marketing stuff, and then did they like set up your Streamlabs with all your different templates and all your things like that?
So basically I kind of did all that on my own. So like the one thing about my agency, which is SHILL Productions, they're very kind of like free range on us. Like they'll help us out like getting like an upgraded model. Like they helped me get like all my cool like new outfits and everything, very fancy. Wow. Of course, like they helped me a lot financially, like with of course like marketing, things like song covers and like upgrading my graphics for streaming, even helping like upgrade some of my tech. Like getting a new graphics card or something like that, like anything that will just help me out in that sort of like technology aspect, and of course like with the model and everything. But honestly, like most of the time they really can't like, you know, I mean they know everything about like, you know, Streamlabs, OBS, like how to stream and everything, but it's also just better to learn that on your own because it is actually a very useful skill to learn how to like do like video editing and working like an OBS. It's very, very useful. So
are you the one that makes like does the agency make like clip compilations and things like that? Okay,
yeah, they help me out with that.
Okay, because I was gonna say, and this might sound rude, but I was gonna say like, okay, so if you do this, you do that, you do these, what's the agency doing? But if they're doing stuff like that, that takes a lot of time to do. So that is a good weight off your back.
They really help curate a lot of like so like my viewers, they'll clip my streams, but then they'll help me like curate all those clips. Like, oh, here's like a good clip, we can edit this for you, or like, oh, like they'll even help me like get into events too. Like I'm actually gonna be participating in a cool like VTuber convention that I would not have been able to get in without them helping me out. So like I'm able to like they're able to help me like get in connection with like anime conventions and like conventions around the world and events and stuff like that. And they help out a lot more than like what's seen like on the servers, because like yeah, I know I had to set up my OBS on my own, like do like that, but behind the scenes they are such an amazing help, and a lot of stuff that you kind of see like I guess like on the surface technically also wouldn't happen without them. But it's so easy to like perceive as like, oh, it looks like you're doing everything on your own. What does your agency do for you? I'm like, oh well, they do for me.
The back end stuff. Okay. Yeah,
it's
so
a lot
like
of back end.
So that convention thing, I could see that being kind of fun, especially with COVID here. It's illegal to go to anime conventions, fortunately. But like setting that up, okay, because there was a thing that they did for Homestuck that was like that.
Oh
it was
God,
called,
I did. Oh, are you serious?
It was called Sakon. I shit you not. It was called
What?
Sakon, and I got blocked by their official Twitter account by going Sakon these nuts. Insta blocked me. But it was like a Discord convention where you would go into the different channels. It was interesting. It's a unique way to do it.
Yeah, that was like at the height of COVID. I actually got invited to a couple of those. A lot of them were actually very, very well run, very nice people. But it definitely is a very unique experience to have like a con at home. But at the same time, this is someone coming who's done cons like for 10, 15 years. It is very nice to just be at your home and just like not having to worry about expensive convention food or like parking or your hotel. No, I can just go in my jammies and watch a panel, and I'm very happy about that. That's me, at least.
My convention experience has been mostly negative, man.
Oh no!
So I don't go to anime conventions because I don't really care. I'm not a big anime man. I did watch Redline recently. I rewatched that, and that was really enjoyable. When I went to PAX, that slapped because I got to play video games. But Chicago Comic-Con is like, I show up and, I could pay $10 to get a comic book. Yeah, let me do that. Let me not just do that for free. 15 minutes? Yeah, $10, that's worth it. I'll go play Magic the Gathering with Joseph Robert Buckley. I'll do that for 6 hours, then go home.
I keep forgetting he's into Magic the Gathering. You can talk to him about that.
Yeah. I just played Magic yesterday, and I got first place, I'll have you know. I got Teferi, Who Slows the Sunset, from Innistrad double feature. Yeah.
Did you see that Hatsune Miku collaboration with Magic the Gathering?
Oh fuck no, I didn't. What did she do this time?
Something to show you, my dude.
Oh my god.
But yeah, while I looked that up though, let me tell you, yeah, you kind of walked into a bad experience because Comic Cons are generally more industry-esque and like, yeah, I've never had a good, because like I used to live in Texas. Right now I live in Colorado, but I used to live in Texas. And almost every single Comic-Con I went to, it was just so expensive, so not worth it if you're just like a general fan and just like want to like enjoy atmosphere. No. Yes. Never go to a fucking Comic-Con. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're into your Marvels or you're into your comic bands, whatever.
What if I want to see a Sergeant Slaughter or one of these other 90s wrestlers that have... I felt so bad for him. He had no one there. No one went to the Sergeant Slaughter booth, and I'm like, listen, I don't want to be the only one there, so I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to look at him. It's like seeing someone come up to your windshield and they got like a dirty newspaper and a bottle of water.
That's another thing too. It's like a lot of people think, oh, because I'm getting invited to this Comic-Con, I'm gonna make big bucks. No, only if you're like the most recent A tier celebrity that's on a Marvel movie, you'll probably make money. But yeah, no, Comic-Cons I would generally avoid just because they're just like so expensive. They're not worth it. Now, if you want a good experience at a convention, I recommend, this is just me, I recommend actually going to like the smaller sort of events, the more comfy one-day ones. Those are probably like those I have the most fun at, because it's like it's a very community-esque, it's very small, like everyone kind of like knows each other, it's very easy to integrate in, and they usually have, they may not have like the big fancy like guests and everything like that, but I've always generally had fun at like the college. The anime club is running like a convention. Those are always so cute to go to. I love those.
Oh my god. This is Hatsune Miku dancing around with Magic the Gathering cards flying at her.
Yes.
I'm playing the video silently. I recognize most of these cards. There's a lot of the blue wizard planeswalker from War of the Spark. It was the uncommon. I don't remember her name.
Man, I have not played Magic since I was like in high school at least, so.
What if I told you this was not the most uncomfortable Magic the Gathering video I've ever seen? Because they had a video that, this was completely unironic, they had Crawling in My Skin playing while like a dragon tore apart a bridge.
Wait, no, I need to see. I actually need to see this. I'm sorry.
It was like a cover
my
too.
Aesthetic. No, this is my aesthetic, please. I love this kind of cringe.
I don't know. If you search Crawling in My Skin Magic the Gathering, you'll find it. But it's fucking terrible.
Oh my fucking god. Yes. I love me a good cringe, so this is right up my alley. I want to know Joe's opinion on this. I'm going to DM him this and be like, have you seen this?
Joe immediately. Speaking of, I should mention, by the way, I think the first contact that unless you liked one of my tweets and I never noticed it, was when you were doing the Google reviews.
Yes!
And I was like, who is this anime girl stealing my content that I did like 2 episodes of in 6 months?
I'm so proud I gave you that reaction. I'm very proud of that, actually.
Who is this bitch?
Oh my god. Let's fucking go. I made him seethe.
So I am malding.
But
Seething,
yeah, no,
coping, malding.
It was the stream with you and Joe. I forgot when y'all did it, but I was like, oh, wait, that's actually so cool. I really want to do that. Like, I was actually like, this is really, like, I genuinely thought this was a really cool idea. And I've done like Google like tours before of like, you know, Akihabara and Disney Japan before. And I was like, I really want a way to like, you know, spice up that because I just don't want to like show people pictures.
Let's see what these
time.
old boomers think. If you want a sneak peek, I thought of this. There's a couple more things that me and Joe are going to plumb.
Oh,
so
God.
So you want to find old bitchy people who think that they're more important than they are.
Yes!
So you have to think like a boomer. What app do you think they use the most? Like if they're going to download something, yeah, maybe. But like I went to the Amazon store, the Amazon app store that no one but boomers use. Only boomers and children, and there are some interesting apps. You look to the pharmacy ones. You go to the Walmart RX one, you go to there, hell yeah.
Oh
Airbnb's sorted by the lowest star rating. I got some good content.
Oh, shit.
I'll have to pump it out before this VTuber bitch can steal it from me.
No, I'm gonna let y'all do it first, because I genuinely want to see. Or we can just do it together.
That would be fun. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll laugh at old people.
I love laughing at
I'm
old
always
people.
I'm always down to take them down a peg.
Like every time
I'll point at them and laugh.
Every time I do the Google Maps review stream, we always like try to look for the Karens, and we just like dramatic read it in the most Valley Girl Karen way possible, and man, shit gets fucking hilarious.
Very based. I think that's about it. That's all I had prepared. Yeah. VTubing's kind of cool. Now, last thing I had to question about was that your game schedule. Are you just able to basically do whatever? Or will they be like, hey, could you please do X at this time?
Depends if we have a sponsorship or not.
Okay.
So
do you have a sponsor you want to shout out for free?
I mean, I shout y'all out all the time, actually.
Hell yeah.
Like
my sponsor is Blue Chew.
Every time I do like anything, like if I ever think about you guys or just like do something that's inspired by you guys, I'm like, hey guys, please, like I have like a little exclamation command like on the fucking fly for you guys to be like, can y'all go subscribe to them? Thanks. They're pretty basic.
Can it be exclamation point goo boys? Can it be changed to that, please?
I will actually change it this fucking second.
Hell yeah. Goo boys.
Can
we get a goo boys in the chat? Fuck yeah.
But yeah, no, like seriously, you guys are super epic, super fucking cool. Like I've been listening to y'all's podcasts like since like 2 years ago, I would say, like maybe a year ago. I forgot, but it's been a while. Like, and I've been watching y'all ever since. Like, man, I'm such a big fan of y'all. Like, y'all do so much good, based, hilarious crap. It's such an honor to even just be sitting here with the the Tad, and of course, like I sometimes I'll open up my Twitch and I'll like peek at like, oh, who's watching my Twitch? Like, even though I'm not streaming right now, you know who I see all the time in there? Joe. I'm not kidding.
The Joseph route. He's probably got you followed. And you probably one of the only ones. Or I don't know. Maybe he's a big fan. Maybe he thinks it's cool.
He's always in there. I'm always like, what? Sometimes I want to DM him and be like, you know, you have like your tab open to me, and I don't know how you respond though.
I think it would be one word, one syllable, repeated 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
The iconic Joe Buckley catchphrase.
Yeah.
You know what else is iconic?
Your mom.
This podcast, which you can find on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Facebook. You can find it on Facebook. I got it on Facebook now. You can have podcasts on Facebook. They're so smart. They got the metaverse. They lost $230 billion.
Man, he's on the Boomer book now. Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Let me tell you, PD is my Twitter. Discord in the description. Patreon in the description. They've been doing a thing on the Discord every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central. They've been watching weird lolcow videos, Chris-chan and all them, the miscreants. They're very fun. They're very personable.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can plug.
Okay, so you guys can find me at twitch.tv/Nyaruchuuu with 3 U's, not 2, not 1, because the 3 means I love you times 3. Heck yeah. Also on Twitter at Nyaruchuuu with 3 U's as well, and on YouTube as well. Same. All my tags are pretty much the same. Nyaruchuuu with 3 U's. You can find me on TikTok.
I thought
Twitch
for a second you were gonna dunk on me and do the thing where I do the email. Let me tell you about t-t-t with 3 T's, because otherwise it wouldn't fit, and I was gonna immediately end the call.
No, I'm not that base at least, but yeah, you can find me on Twitch. You can find my Twitch is my main streaming platform. Feel free to drop by. We do a lot of variety. If you like an anime girl who likes Flight Sim and Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, yeah, feel free to drop by. I'm pretty based, I would say.
Have you played Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling on Switch, PS4, Xbox, PC, and Amazon Game Pass and Luna?
I feel like you just told me the whole Final Fantasy 14 copy pasta right now, and I'm kind of upset.
I still have 7 Steam keys. If you want a Steam key of Bug Fables, I will give you a Steam key.
I will actually stream it if you give it to me.
All right, so you could join their Twitch chat to watch them stream Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling on Switch, PS4, Xbox, PC, Game Pass, and Amazon Luna. We bring it all around here because I did the long thing, so it's like when you did like your opening thing, we have fun here. We like to have fun here.
That's pretty fun, actually.
Thank you, and you are fun as well. Nyaruchu? Are you Chew? Fuck, I don't. Naruto?
Just call me Naruto. There you go.
All right. Hell yeah, I'll be Sasuke.
Oh no, I'm being thrown back.
All right, goodbye everyone.
Bye.